Thank you very much, Excellency, Dimpulet Luisi, members of Cabinet, Parliamentary Representative for Grosile, the Honourable Leonard Spider Motut, Parliamentary Representative for Denry North, the Honourable Sean Edwards. I think I saw the Prime Minister here a while ago. Members of the Diplomatic Corps, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. As we observe and celebrate our 40th year of independence, I wish on behalf of the opposition to congratulate the government and people of St. Lucia and wish for an improvement in the quality of life for all of our people. It is an accepted fact that we live in a global, interdependent world, and there are many aspects of our life as a country that we have little or no control over. We are indeed impacted by external factors that can improve or diminish our quality of life and even threaten our very existence as a people. We have no control over the price of oil, something that plays such an important part in our everyday life. We have no control over the frequency and intensity of natural storms and disasters that continue to damage our country's infrastructure and disrupt our lives. We have no control over acts of war and terror that happen thousands of miles away from us, yet force us to spend millions of scarce dollars to conform to international safety and security standards. We have no control over the decisions of foreign governments that drive hundreds of our residents overseas back home, many unprepared for a life of major adjustments. Our tourism industry, the mainstay of our economy, is faced with the daunting challenge of having to compete with the very countries that are our source markets. These are just a few of the many factors that we as a nation confront and to which we have to adapt. However, this does not mean that in the midst of this complex and challenging environment that we are powerless as an independent nation. Indeed, it challenges us to give careful thought to the paradigm shifts that will become critical and inevitable if we are to create and maintain a path of sustained economic and social development. Our beliefs and values must change if we are to reshape the future of our nation. We must re-embrace some of the values that we once had, like respect for each other, tolerance, equity, openness, and fairness. There should be no place in our society for vindictiveness and victimization by organs of the state, which our people are expected to respect and trust. We can and must do better in the way we treat our women, children, and the elderly. We must develop a culture of zero tolerance towards child abuse, drug and alcohol abuse, and violence against women. And on the issue of work, our productivity as a nation must begin to take center stage if we are to compete regionally and internationally. We must give real meaning to the old adage, a fair day's work for a fair day's pay. We must respect the workers' rights and promote high levels of productivity in the workplace so that as a nation we can be competitive. Our crime rate as a small country is too high. This we must address together, not just because of its negative impact on our people, industries, and investments, but because as a nation we must share basic love and care for each other, which is the hallmark of our humanity and civility. We must exercise greater care on our roads to reduce the incidence of accidents and fatalities that has become too often a source of grief to many and a strain on our health and medical resources. We must have more regard for our environment and the way we dispose of our waste, the attention we give to our rivers, trees, and forests, a responsibility we owe for our well-being and that of future generations. We must start thinking about the makeup of our diets and how much imported foods we eat as opposed to local products, being ever mindful that local foods can be as healthy, if not healthier, not to mention the vast potential to keep our farmers gainfully employed. If we have control over the care of our national assets, our public buildings, our sporting facilities, our schools, and should exercise that care. And I want to make a special plea to the students and school children today to implore them to protect and preserve school furniture and equipment for themselves and for students to come. We waste millions of dollars annually in repairing damaged public buildings, money that could have otherwise been spent on new and improved facilities. We must respect our national symbols, our flag, our anthem, our passports, a vehicle that allows us to explore lands and cultures beyond our borders with relatively ease. Ladies and gentlemen, I agree that we are living in difficult and trying times, but we can, by making simply lifestyle and value changes, cause a transformation in our country and create an environment for economic growth and human development, even with our scarce resources. It is our choice to decide whether our society is clothed with values that allow for a greater sense of community to flourish, or a society where every 5 years 40% of the population is cast aside and made to suffer, to cry, on account of being perceived to be on the wrong side of the political divide. It is our choice as leaders, and we must set the example. I look forward to leadership that is prepared for real change, making inclusiveness and fairness the pillars in the creation of a more progressive and prosperous society. Happy Independence all. Happy Independence to St. Lucia. Thank you very much.